Bande Matram, welcome all of you. So this is the process of Savitri summarization. Here we are in the part 2. That is actually we have gone book 4 canto 1. Here we will find the birth and the childhood of the flame. So this is a great topic. We are going to discuss and know really about the birth and childhood of the flame. Initial life theorem in the course, a minor of the cycles of desire. Around a light she must not dare to touch. So this is the earth followed the endless journey of the sun. We know sun is there centering the sun. Earth is actually moving around the sun. That's what we have already seen. Here we can find the description of nature. It is described by our Lord in a beautiful manner. Very enchanting scenario we can find there in this description. The entire description of the nature is will be heart touching. Of course, it is really unique. We can find here. Then still in the course, she communed with the mystic heart of space. Very interesting. She moved towards some undisclosed event. Undisclosed event, she under her rhythm measured the long wheel of time. Again, we can find day after day sped by like colored spokes, and through a glamour of shifting hues of air, the seasons drew in linked significant dance. So we can find the description of the seasons here in a beautiful way. First, we can find the season like summer. Past summer with its pomp and violent noons, pomp of violent noons, and stamped his tyranny of torrid light and the blue seal of a great burnished sky. Then after summer come your rain. So rain tide burst in upon torn wings of heat. Rain tide burst in upon torn wings of heat, startled with lightnings, air's unquiet drowse. Then we can go for the next step that while we are finding the description of nature, that is a beautiful description. Here we can find against Aurobindo course, tempest pronunciamentos claimed the sky. Then we are going a little bit forward. Day a half darkness o'er azures, a dull dress, cloudy. That description is that. Day a half darkness o'er azures, a dull dress. Light looked into dawn's tarnished glass and met its own face there. So later we can find the description here like this. As we can find Earth's mood now changed. She lay on lulled repose. The hours went by with slow, contented tread. The earth's mood now changed. A wide and a tranquil air remembered peace. Earth was the comrade of a happy sun. Earth was a comrade of the happy sun. A calmness neared as of the approach of God. Calmness neared as with the approach of God. A light of musing trance lit soil and sky. So again, we can find later on that and winter and dew time laid their calm, cool hands. And winter and dew time laid their calm, cool hands on nature's bosom still in a half sleep, and deepened with hues of lax and mellow edge. Later, the spring is coming, that king spring, then spring, an ardent lover, the great lover, ardent lover, lived through leaves and caught the earth bride in his eager clasp. His advent was a fiery fire of irised hues. His arms were a circle of the arrival of joy. His voice was a call to the transcendent sphere, whose secret touch upon our lives keeps ever new the thrill that made the world. Just imagine how the spring is coming, summer is coming, then winter is coming, winter and dew time, and of course we can find rain. There itself we have found the description of the rain also. Here we have seen the ardent lover spring, I am sorry, the ardent lover spring, who is actually taking in his eager clasp his earth bride. So again we can find life of the enchanted globe became a storm of sweetness and of light and song. Enchanted globe, life of the enchanted globe became a storm of sweetness and light and song, a revel of color and of ecstasy, a hymn of rage, a litany of cries, a strain of choral priestly music sang. Just imagine how it is. He made joy, a smiling, a willing prisoner in her breast. His grasp was a young god's upon earth's limbs. So he made her body beautiful with his kiss. Just imagine the romantic scenes between earth and spring. So arrival of the spring. He made her body beautiful with his kiss. Impatient for felicity he came, high fluting with the coil's happy voice. His peacock turban trailed on the trees. His breath was a warm summons to delight. So with this, we can find towards the this type of description towards the conclusion. We find beautiful lines. The sunlight was a great god's golden smile. The sunlight was a great god's golden smile. All nature was at beauty's festival. So, in that momentous hour, that excellent description describes later how really the Divine Mother in form of Savitri is descending down to take incarnation, and of course to take the unfinished. She took again her divine unfinished task. So we'll read little bit. Let us summarize the first what has been read regarding the earth, the significant seasons coming one by one, and how the spring has become an ardent lover to kiss forever his ever loved beloved earth. So let us come forward and see little bit. From the beginning of its endless revolving journey in space and time, ever endless revolving journey in space and time, Earth has been speeding towards a far off unknown goal. Speeding towards a far off unknown goal. How? From the beginning of the endless revolving journey in the space and time towards unknown, this is the progress, this is the speeding towards Earth, speeding towards a far off unknown goal. From the originals here in the course, that description is there. From the original state of inconscience, he passed towards the state of half consciousness. From inconscience, the progress, the speed, the journey towards half consciousness, thence to that of the life, and thence to the state of thought and act. From the inconscience, this state of consciousness towards the state of half consciousness, then again from that of life, and then to that of life, and to that of state of thought and act. In this cycle of the mind, she has been steadily moving towards some undisclosed event. That's what we have seen. Moving towards some undisclosed event that is going to be to take place. Again, the description of seasons. The seasons weave a picturesque dance, as it were, in the earth's ceaseless motion around the sun. The summer is followed by rain, autumn, the winter follow. Spring arrives at the high moment of one such spring when all nature is at beauty's festival. With the advent of spring, all nature is at beauty's festival. A celestial spirit descends on earth, answering her cry for bliss. Celestial spirit descends on earth, answering her cry for bliss. Then Savitri is born. The great Savitri is born. Initially we have seen very in the symbol done, we have seen that Savitri to awoke among the tribes. Here also we can find little later we'll see Savitri to is born in that answering her cry for bliss. Savitri is born. The ancient mother returns to her unfinished or task on earth. Once again she began her divine unfinished task. So let us go a little further. We'll try to read that brilliant description as we have seen, of course, in our description. Truly, we'll find the great summarization chapter, of course. Steer in the course. In this high signal moment of the gods, what is happening? Answering Earth's yearning and her cry for bliss, a greatness from our outer countries came. A greatness from our other countries came, a silence in the noise of earthly things. Then again, which is in the coming, a mightier influx filled the oblivious clay. A lamp was lit, a sacred image made. A lamp was lit, a sacred image made. Then a mediating ray had touched the earth, bridging the gulf between man's mind and the gods. Anyway, let us here in the course beautifully. She took again her divine unfinished task. Survivor of a death and the aeonic years, once more with her fathomless heart she fronted time. Once more with her fathomless heart she fronted time. Again there was renewed, again revealed. The ancient closeness by earth vision failed, the secret contact broken off in time. Then we can find with the arrival of the mother, how in the initially within which consciousness really she was here in the course. This is of course illumining mind to which Lord Buddha was elevated. He was the god of illumined mind. So here, illumining mind, steer in the course with her advent upon the earth. Earth plasm first quivered with illumining mind, and life invaded the material seed. So just imagine, a mother wisdom works in nature's breast to pour delight on the heart of toil and want. Later we can find here in the course. She keeps her will that hopes to divinize clay. Although our human stuff resists or breaks, she keeps her will that hopes to divinize the clay that matter. Again, failure cannot repress defeat, overthrow. Time cannot weary her, nor the void subdue. The ages have not made her passion less. No victory she admits of death and fate. Always she drives the soul to new attempt. Always her magical infinitude forces to aspire the inert brute element. Just imagine how greatly, how boldly she working. What is her mission? She scatters the seed of the eternal strength on a half animate and crumbling mood. World is the half animate and crumbling mood. She scatters the seed of eternal strength. Plants heaven's delight in the heart's passionate mire. Pours Godhead's seekings into the bare beast frame. Again hides immortality in a mask of death. So hiding eternity, immortality, everything, she has come down into this desolate, forsaken, suffering earth. Anyway, once more that will put on an earthly shape again. So a lovelier body formed than earth had known. Just imagine how the body is about, we have already seen. A lovelier body formed than earth had known. Then in a little letter, in a cradle of divine inconscience, ragged by the universal ecstasy of the sun's some visioned power in the half-wakened frame. Like lived again, we can child remembering inly a far home. The child, because she is now as per natural process from childhood till the end, it is there described. The child remembering inly a far home lived guarded in her spirit's luminous cell. Her nature dwelt in a strong separate air. Her nature dwelt in a strong separate air, like a strange bird with a large rich colored breast that sojourns on a secret fruited bough, lost in the emerald glory of the woods. Just imagine how the great flying bird is sojourning. That great image has been described with the advent of Savitri. Lost in the emerald glory of the woods, or flies above divine, unreachable tops, harmoniously she impressed the earth and the heaven. Harmoniously she impressed the earth with heaven. Again, each minute was a throb of beauty's heart. The hours were turned to a sweet toned content. Later, we can find the fast fair life that breaks upon nature soon. So, we'll try to summarize it first, then we'll go for the next step. With that great description about the Savitri's arrival, ascent, and incarnation, and her arrival, her descent. So this is a great thing has been described. Always there has been a mother wisdom. Just we have seen there, always there has been a mother wisdom in nature working to urge the growth of consciousness, urge to for growth of consciousness and joy in life. To make matter conscious of the divinity, the will now puts in an earthly from the earthly forms of Savitri. So the arrival, we know all nature is a beautiful festival. She took again her divine unfinished task. So how the world is changing here in the course here tries to explain. Always there has been mother wisdom in nature, mother wisdom in nature, always working towards the growth of consciousness. What is the purpose? Growth of consciousness and joy in life. To make matter conscious of the divinity itself, make the matter conscious of the divinity that will now put on an earthly form in Savitri. Let us here in the goes forward. At first, the infant lies passive. At first, initially in the beginning, as a childhood, as per the natural process already I have quoted, explained by referring Sri Aurobindo. So at first the infant lies passive in the protective arms of the guarded power. Protective arms of the guarded power. The infant lies passive. Slowly again, the link with her and slowly the link with her soul grows sure. Link with her soul, initially passive, then comes soul's link with, and the remembrance of her virgin takes shape within. Remembrance of her origin takes shape within. She lives alone in her spirit amidst men. Lives alone in her spirit amidst men, because she is untouched. Nobody is answering, alone. Lived untouched, alone, amidst in the spirit amid men. However, even in her childhood, her luminous origin and higher nature are unmistakable. Everything is silent, everything is, there is loneliness, there is keeping quiet, stranger, everything is there. But anyway, even in her childhood, her luminous origin and higher nature, two things are there. Luminous origin and higher nature are unmistakable, it is there, quite visible. Her days pass in swift joy and sweetness. Days are passing with hurried and familiar swiftness and swift joy and happy sweetness. She exudes happiness all around. Exudes happiness all around. With the presence, everything gets smiling, happy, everything. But even when she mixes with others, she keeps her stature of the gods. Even though she is wrapping up her infinity, divinity, eternity, still then actually she is keeps her stature of keep the stature of the gods. Let us now go to the point of conclusion, and we'll try to read finally few beautiful lines from Sri Aurobindo. Then we'll try to summarize it in a very significant manner. Sri Aurobindo quotes, her spirit kept the stature of the gods, and it stooped but was not lost in matter's reign. A world translated was her gleaming mind. A world translated was her gleaming mind. Then we have seen her springing childlike thoughts were richly turned into luminous patterns of her soul's deep truth. So just from the initial period, even though very at the beginning it was very much passive, we have seen no open converse with surrounding things. There is a oneness native and occult that needs no instruments and erects no form. So this is actually slowly it is developing upwards, it is emerging, and she is living in with the soul's bondage, soul's contact. Still in the course, nothing was alien or inanimate, nothing without its meaning or its call, for with a greater nature she was one. So, as from the soil sprang glory of a branch and a flower, as from the animal's life rose a thinking man again, as from the animal's life began grow, of course we have seen, as from the animal's life rose the thinking man, a new epiphany appeared in her, a mind of light, a life of rhythmic force, a body instinct with hidden divinity, prepared an image of the coming God. Later we can find beautiful lines like in the end, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully how her aspiration called high destiny down. Her aspiration called high destiny down, a silent warrior paced in her city of strength, inviolate, guarding truth's diamond throne. So again, loved all and spoke no word and made no sign, but kept her bosom's rapturous secrecy. Everything that is the special, even if she is staying, not mingled, not losing anything, he is staying, keeping the stature of the gods. So again, proud, swift, and joyful ran the wave of life within her like a stream in paradise. Again, we can find her loneliness or aloofness. She will be keeping apart. That description is very much golden, and Sri Aurobindo quotes, a golden bridge spanning a fiery flood. Golden bridge spanning a fiery flood, a moon-touched palm tree singled by a lake. Communion of the wide and glimmering peace, a murmur as of leaves of paradise, moving when feet of the immortals pass. Then we can find the last two lines, a fairy halo over sleeping hills, a strange and starry head alone in night. So, before this is the last patch of the discussion, last step of our discussion. We are going to step forward for this bright discussion in couple of lines, of course. The power within her the power within her shapes her sense in a deeper mood and fills her brain with higher light. So, how it is being prepared? The power within her, that is there, the power within her shapes her sense in a deeper mood and fills her brain with higher light. Brain fills is with higher light. Senses actually shaped in a deeper mood. Her thoughts are patterns of the truth of the soul. Thoughts patterns of the truth of the soul, of her soul. Her look perceives all forms as shapes of living selves. Every contact, here in the course, every contact evokes a call. Every contact evokes a call. Just imagine how sensitive the description is, how great description is really while describing mother's progress. She is one with the greater nature, but here she is fine aloof. Nobody is really able to understand who she is. Her mind, life, and body are constantly in evident preparation for the emergence of the inner Godhead. Mind, life, her body constantly in evident preparation for the emergence of the inner Godhead. Inner Godhead for her emergence, mind, life, and body are in constantly in evident preparation. Her aspiration is active, calling down the higher destiny. Aspiration active in calling down the higher destiny and guarding the throne of truth within. So this is the great situation, great scenario, great description by the Lord on the growth and the birth and growth of the childhood, birth and childhood of the flame. The flame clearly it is Savitri. Then finally, in one line, Sri Aurobindo will try to know the very much closing matter of the chapter canto. Her life is one stream of joy and beauty, love and light. Her life is one stream of joy, beauty, love, and light. So this is the great scenario. We can find her. We can so it already we have seen earth, nature quivered with the illumined mind. Then finally we have seen a golden bridge spanning a fairy flood, a moon-touched palm tree singled by a lake, companion of the wide and the glimmering peace. So at the end, a fairy halo ever over sleeping hills, a strange and starry head alone in night. So this great description and a great beginning, and of course a great realization we are taking from this description of Sri Aurobindo's supramental description from in the part 2. In the form of this first canto, we have seen the birth and the childhood of the flame. That is really remarkable, no doubt of it. Vande Mataram. We can see it little later. Thank you.